Today I'm going to tell you how to create a content and channel strategy that will help you get more subscribers and more views on your YouTube channel. Let's get right to it. My name is Michael Feyrer Jr. and if you want to elevate your YouTube strategy, consider subscribing to the channel. Click that bell so you know when I have new content coming out. I know I've mentioned this before, but as humans we tend to complicate a situation and make things more difficult than they have to be. Make your life easy with a content strategy that will really help you simplify your process. What is a content strategy? It's really pretty simple. It's just a plan that lays out goals for your channel. And then you can create a roadmap of how you're going to achieve those goals with your content. A solid channel strategy with a good content plan can make it much easier for you to find great ideas to film. And the other important aspect of this is, since you have a great strategy, it's much easier to test what works and what doesn't on your channel, because it's not so random. You know what you're trying to accomplish. The first part of a channel strategy should be defining your niche, and then once you define what your niche is, you want to go ahead and find some keywords that are going to be specifically related to the content you're going to be producing. Keyword research is a really important aspect of this process, and if you don't understand how to do keyword research for your channel, I'll leave a link at the end of the video so you can check out another video that will show you how to do some keyword research. The next thing you want to do is create a thumbnail template. Now this is kind of a fancy way of saying that all of your thumbnails are going to look very similar. You want to have a common look to all your thumbnails so people know when they see that look in your thumbnail, it's your channel. This is a great way to help you brand, but it also makes it much easier to create thumbnails on video drop day. Now create a thumbnail template that's going to give your thumbnails a standard look. It doesn't have to be anything super fancy. It can even just be a little icon or an emoji at some part of the screen. But you want to have a thumbnail strategy so that you can test what works and what doesn't. And if you have a common thumbnail style, it makes it a lot easier for people to know that that video is yours. And this is good for branding. A titling strategy can be really helpful as well. Your title strategies are totally going to depend on the sort of niche you're trying to reach, as well as a strategy on how your content is going to be found. If you're a how-to or DIY channel, you're definitely going to want to have keyword-rich titles that tell the folks exactly what they're going to find there. And you're going to want to make sure that these keywords are something you can rank for. Most of your traffic is going to come through the search engine, people searching for whatever it is you're showing them how to do. Now, if you are a comedy channel or a vlogging channel, your titles might lean much more towards the sensational, or what some people might call clickbait. And this is a strategy that you have to take because you're not going to be able to rank for any search terms, generally speaking, in your videos. So your content is really going to have to stand out with a really interesting title and a really fascinating thumbnail. For those of you who are not in a searchable category, you're really going to have to understand how titling and thumbnailing works to really get a chance for your channel to take off. Now, a channel and content strategy is really a way to come to terms with the understanding of how people are actually going to find your content. And this is really important. You have to understand how you expect YouTube to help people find your content before you start creating. Otherwise, you might be creating content that you just think people are going to find organically. People don't find anything organically on YouTube. You have to understand how YouTube is going to use your content to put it in front of your target audience. Are they going to be finding you through YouTube discovery, or are they going to be finding you based on search terms in your title and description and your tags? It's really important to understand this before you start filming your content. And the examples absolutely apply. If you're doing a DIY and how-to, your content is going to be found through the search. People searching for the terms so they can learn how to do what you're teaching them. If you are a vlog or a comedy channel or something outside of the DIY niche, your content is going to be shared by YouTube much more through browse features. In other words, other videos that are kind of similar to what you are doing, they're going to put your video in front of those folks and see if they're interested in watching. And the higher your average view duration, the better your thumbnail is from a click-through rate perspective, and the more catchy your title is truly the only way you can grow these channels. It is very difficult to grow a channel without using search terms, so you have to understand the tactics that you're going to use and that YouTube is going to use to put your content in front of people so you can maximize or optimize the chances that YouTube is going to put your video in front of lots of viewers. Once you know all these things and you know how YouTube is going to be expected to share your content, it makes it much easier to test different strategies and different thumbnails and different titles. But first you have to understand how YouTube is going to share your content. Once you have that, it actually becomes pretty easy. YouTube is a very simple beast. All YouTube wants to do is keep people on the platform. And the simplest way for them to keep people on the platform is to keep providing them with content that they know they want to watch. And the more you understand what your content is, what the strategy is, and who your target audience is, the easier it's going to be for you to tell YouTube, here are the people that you're going to want to share my content to. And that is what a channel strategy is all about, making it easier for YouTube to find people who want to watch your content. So start by writing out your channel goals and define your channel niche and the keywords you plan to do most of your videos around. Then you want to move on to deciding how people are actually going to find your content. Is it going to be searchable, or are you going to have to rely on browse features for YouTube to share your content? Once you know this, you go ahead and you create your thumbnail template that's based on the type of thumbnails that you want to do for your content strategy. Think about your thumbnail and titling strategies based on the nature of the way that people are going to find your content. Believe me, this makes a big difference. Once you go through this process, if you can't easily identify other channels that are similar or related to yours, you probably need to go ahead and rethink it. But once you find those other channels that are similar or related to yours, it's not very difficult to come up with all sorts of topics, because you can see what was popular that they did, or what was popular on their channel. Also, having defined your niche, you probably already have lots of ideas that are related to that you can do. All that's left is for you to go out there and plan your video and create that magic. And believe me, when you take the time to lay out your channel and content strategy, you're gonna grow a lot faster. It seems like a lot of work. It's really not a lot of work when you consider that you spend lots of time filming these videos, and if nobody's watching, that's a lot of wasted work. You spend an hour or two coming up with a channel strategy and a content strategy, and then your videos start getting seen by more viewers and people start to see them, and that work pays off. And that's what we really want. We want our content to be seen. That's why we create. If you're interested in learning more about keyword research, you can check this video out right here. Or if you want to check out my YouTube playlist that's just designed to help you grow on YouTube, you can check this out right here. If you're interested in elevating your strategy on YouTube, consider subscribing to the channel and click that bell so you know when I have new content coming out. Go out there, find your adventure, have a great day, and I will see you soon.